And that's
Yeah. And that kind of leads on a little bit to something that I can get caught in sometimes is blaming the parent.
yeah,
So it's like I do know the language. There's a beautiful language where that I let you speak there, Steve. That we won't fall into it, and that the client to support the client to have a language that they're not blaming their parents, even though it's very, very painful for them.
yeah. And the key word is even though all these things were happening, just to remember, even though they were doing the best they could, they too were trying to survive. They too
Mm-hmm.
were in their survival self looking for safety. And they didn't have enough left over to give to us. They didn't understand that they were meeting, sometimes they were just meeting our daily requirements, changing our diapers and feeding us. And sometimes they weren't, or sometimes they couldn't because of a medical reason or depression. They weren't able to show up in the way we needed to. And it would be real easy to blame them, blame them, blame them, blame them. But really coming into the understanding that they did the best they could.
Yeah. And
And
I think, Steve, it's like the importance is for the therapist not to be blaming, and the client can do it until it's there no longer.
right, no pathology.
Yeah.
No,
If the client needs to blame until there's more space in their system, and then they don't have to. But as long as the therapist use that framework of that the parents were doing the best they can with what was going on for their own survival.
right. And
Yeah.
parents are going to rely on their experiences.
Yeah.
So whatever they experienced as a
Yeah.
kid, they're going to pass that parenting on. There's a
Yeah.
belief that, oh, I'll never be like my parents. We all are. We can say we'll never be like them, but there's a part of us that is very much like them. And changing those patterns changes generations going forward when we're able to work with our clients and really come in and, oh yeah, you can make a mistake and nobody's going to yell at you and nobody's going to spank you and nobody's going to punish you in any way. That, oh, we have plenty of room when we're holding space for mistakes. And then as that client begins to understand that, then they understand. And it took me a while. It was not an overnight sensation that I forgave my parents. It took me a while before I realized, oh, they did the very best they could. And I could hang on to what they did wrong forever if I wanted to. I could go to my grave, or I could live a new life.
Mm.
I might even find out what fun feels like. I might even experience joy if I take away that energy that I'm giving to my parent as an adult. Because if we're born with 100 coins a day, and that 100 coins a day are for safety, for us to learn, for relationship, and we're spending it all over here on parents that don't even, it doesn't, they did the best they could, then we're slacking on education, we're slacking on relationships. So collect your money,
Yeah.
put it over here
And
where you want it.
yeah, and as you said a minute ago, that shift only happens when there's more space in the system.
Exactly. It cannot
And it can't
happen.
happen before then, and then it happens naturally.
Yes, it never happens in a closed system. It can only happen in an open system. And the
What
open system is in the greater space that we're holding for our clients.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
the more open and vulnerable they get. The open heart system is
yeah,
where they're able to heal, but they're healing in the closed. We're bringing them all the way up to the edge of that, and then we're welcoming them
yeah,
into this open system.
yeah.